Some people, they'll do the most horrible things.
We've got an advanced screenings review for you today, this time on the movie Bad Education, directed by Cory Findley of Thoroughbreds and written by Mike Makowski. And I know with a title like that, you might be thinking, ooh, shenanigansy sex comedy or 80s vigilante action movie? Not quite. This is a dramedy that has to do with not just any embezzlement scheme in a public school, but what would become the largest theft in the school system that amounted to about a total of $11 million stolen, give or take. And the movie, like I said, it mixes in comedy and drama in this situation. Not so much in a way like you've seen with other true story movies like this, like say Vice or Bombshell or The Big Short or something like that, that has to do with scandals and using a lot of very quick editing and cutaways, like now a model comes in to explain the situation and then there's a laugh track. This isn't quite so much that. This is more so done as sort of a political satire, way more so in the vein of Alexander Payne's Election versus, you know, something like Bombshell or Vice. And even though this is all taking place in this school system, I like how it feels very political, like we're watching a lot of politicians just kind of threaten and backstab each other, or even like a cop movie that would have more so to do with like the internal affairs division. There's great scenes in this movie where these characters, led by Hugh Jackman, who plays the superintendent, are making these clear threats to each other, but not threatening so much by just spelling it out, but doing normal things like complimenting jewelry or talking about their future or complimenting their work or something like that. But behind those words are these very like kind of sinister threats going on to keep all this quiet. And these characters just throw each other under the bus like so fast. Like one of the first things they think of is to just like get a scapegoat and let's see if we can all pin it on this person. And there's good symbolism that goes on throughout the movie as well. We see that they're very focused on spending millions of dollars and making this skywalk for the school, in which people point out that that's just a really cosmetic add-on when there's literal leaks and holes and all these dirty spots in the halls and in the different rooms and things like that. Meanwhile, a lot of these characters, these people put in charge, the superintendent, like Hugh Jackman, for instance, are like the same way. They're very cosmetic. They're focused on what's on the outside. He spends hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on suits, vacations, and also plastic surgery, facelifts, and all of that. Jackman is outstanding in the movie. Right away when this character comes in, you get a very uneasy feeling from the guy, meaning he's very happy and friendly and is complimentary. Will talk to you about your education, your family. But the way he does it is less like a person who genuinely has all of those very friendly traits and more so someone who has just kind of studied how a person who would normally be like that would act. Like there's something very sociopathic about it. Like it is creepy and it is off-putting. It gives it, again, a very feel of like this is a political world, but it's inside of the school system. But what Jackman does here that's great is, again, those early scenes where he's very much just like sort of mimicking friendly personalities, and there's little subtle things that he does in these conversations where he's throwing somebody under the bus or trying to blame somebody else for something that he did or maybe has a part of. And there's great things about his performance, like he's not looking them in the eye when he's doing certain things like this. But the more the movie goes on, the more this character is humanized, and is certainly a very three-dimensional character when you find out about his own secrets, his own past, the truth about his own past, what he's done in this particular embezzlement scheme, and why he did it through his own thought process about why it kind of seemed justified. Again, this is a very, very, very corrupt character, but I like how the movie does a great job of focusing on him as our lead and making him this very humanized character as the movie goes along. But I do recommend this movie. It's a very, very, very entertaining movie. It's smart, it's well acted, it's worth it enough for the Hugh Jackman performance alone. And it does a good job of presenting you this story if you'd never heard of this before, which I hadn't. I mean, this was a big thing in the early 2000s, but I was probably out drunk or something. I don't know. This was a news story that went by me. You can check it out on HBO on April 25th, which is where it's going to be debuting. Until then, subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/Stone Gremlin Productions. Follow us on Twitter @TheCinemaSnob. We'll see you next time.